Another one, Paul here. Today I'm going to be giving you guys a pretty simple strategy when it comes to trading SPY. This strategy that I want to talk about, I've talked about before, but basically this strategy has high percentage win rate, but there are also a couple moments where it might lead into some losing trades, so you got to be careful. Basically, if it enters a point of consolidation, it'll not work as well. But today's video is going to be pretty simple. I'm going to teach you guys how to get some pretty good results with all you need to understand is using the linear line strategy. I've talked about that before on this channel. So I'm going to teach you how to set it up. I've talked about it before, but we're going to be focusing on the S&P 500. Now, this strategy will only work for something like the S&P 500, where it goes up and then down, up and then down. This will not work as well with crypto and other assets out there. This will work better for ETFs and things like SPY. But for this video, I'm going to be focusing on the strategies on using it with the S&P 500. So I'm going to real quickly show you how to set it up. I've talked about it before in videos, but I'm going to show you when to enter, when to exit, and how to find more good entries by just using the linear line strategy. Okay, so the first thing you want to do in this strategy is you want to hide your regular candles. We're going to be looking at the S&P 500, and we're going to be looking at it on the hour. Next thing you want to do is you want to get to you're going to be linear regression candles. So this is the linear regression candles. So what do you want to do here? You want to change. You can change the colors if you want. I'll change these to blue. Do a nice red. We'll do red. Actually, I'll make these green. Green. So the bright, they stand out. Make them green and bright red. That's just my personal taste here. So you got your colors here of the linear candles, and the most important here is the plot line. So you want to have a color that stands out. Make it white, or I'm going to make it more thick. More thick. Here we go. So here's your strategy. It really stands out. So we got the hour. We got the linear candles. And this is all you have to go by. So now you can kind of see the linear line kind of going through it. So the strategy is very simple of finding your moments. You want to focus when the linear line, when the candle is going through the linear line. This is the strategy. This is when you enter your strategy. So you want to come in kind of when the candles are going through the linear line. So that would really be about this candle here. And you basically enter when it's going through the linear line, and you exit when you have profit, or you exit when it's touching the linear line again. So it's a pretty simple strategy. So we can look at a couple moments here. We see that the candle, the linear line has come through right about here, so you would enter right here. And you'd exit when basically you're in profit. So if you're in profit, you can exit, or you can exit here, which you wouldn't make as much. But that's basically what you do. You enter when the candle goes through the linear line, and you'll exit when you have profit, or you'll exit right before the candle touches the linear line again. That's pretty as simple as it goes. This will really only work with the S&P. Well, any kind of ETF that goes up and down does not work well for crypto or any of the other assets. So let's just look at a couple examples. There's a couple times where this won't work. So let's just get a couple examples. Right here we see a red candle going through the linear line right here. Now for the best results, I do this on the hour. So all you got to do is when you're trading, you gotta look for it, kind of crossing the linear lines going through the candle. That's what you got to look for. So right here, we see the linear line going through the candle. The next one is right here. So this would when you enter, and you ride it out. until it touches the linear line. Sometimes you'll find some big moves, sometimes you'll find some small moves. But if you rode this entire run right here, you see that the candles will touch the linear line right about here. This is in 2 days. Now, me personally, I like doing it per day because I like trading per day, but that's just me. But I do not like holding longer. I don't like holding over weekends, and I don't like holding longer than a day, but that's just me. So if I were to do a day, it'd be right here. This would have been $454. So let's just check out a couple other times here. Now this one wouldn't work well, but you see the candle going through the linear line right here. You would enter right here. You could write it out. You could have got out right about here. You still would have made $251. Or you could have wrote it out when it touches the linear line. You still would have made $164. So we see right here that it's going through the linear line right here. So I personally would enter right about here. And you write it out till it touches the linear line again. That, if you did it till it touches the linear line again, you made $353. You could still be in profit down here with $469. So let's just see if this works again. So you're finding all the moments where it's going up and then down, up and then down. That's all you're doing. You're basically riding the wave of the S&P 500. So you see the linear line going through the candle. So there's a call right here. I would enter on this candle, and I would write it out till it touches the linear line. You could get out right here. You made $493. Or you can get out here, you made $435. We see a candle going through the linear line for a put position right here. I would get in on this candle, and I would write it down till it touches the linear line right about here. You made $556, or you could have taken profit right here with $667. I'm going to try to go over some scenarios where it won't work, because we have found a lot of moments where they do work. Because this is not a 100% strategy. So right here, linear line, you could enter on this candle right here. Write it out till it touches the linear line, which is, well, you can take profit right about here, make 420. Or when it touches the linear line again, make about 251. Now here's an example where it won't work, because another indicator really to have on here is your consolidation. So if you have your consolidation on here, you'll notice the moment where the market is consolidating. So this will tell you not to take the trades. Even though it's going through on the linear line, it'll tell you not to take the trades, because you can tell that it's consolidating right here. But if you did take the trade, it goes through, and you would enter on this candle right here. Right about here, and wait till it touches the linear line. It's just bouncing there. You could take a little bit of profit here, but not a lot, since it is consolidating. When it consolidates is the only time that you won't make any profit. So that's a consolidation zone right there. Make sure you have that on there so you find all your consolidation moments. Let's real quickly look at. So when it is consolidating, you won't make any profits. That's the only disadvantage to this. And stay away from the CPI data dates. That's just my personal opinion. So we see it's crossing down right here. So we enter on this candle here, and we write it out till it touches the linear line. If you wrote it out from there, you would have made $257. Wrote it out to here, you would have made $300. I'm going to do this a couple more times, and I think you guys get the general idea. It's a pretty simple strategy. So this is a big one right here. We see the candle going through the linear line. You probably enter right about this candle here. Write it out. You write it out till it touches the linear line. This is $800. Well, this is $883 in 2 days. But I personally don't do 2 days. Let's see how you make in 1 day. One day you would have had $841. So let's try this. Let's see, we have our consolidation right here, so it's telling us not to take any trades right here, but if you didn't do that, let's just see how much you would make. Candle goes through, so you would come in probably around this candle here. You could take profit here and still get about $374. Until it touches the linear line, you made $250. So you still would have made a little bit of profit there. Let's look here, a couple more. This is a big move right here. Candle goes through the linear line, and you would enter on probably this candle right here. Ride this whole thing out till it touches the linear line. You can get out here and, well, this is over a day. Let's just do a day here. If anybody just wants to trade for a day, right about here's a day. So this is $579 in one day. So you go in right here, you see the candle going through the linear line, you would enter right here. And you ride it out, you could take profit up here. This is one day. And you would have made $621. So you see how effective the strategy is. The only way you don't win is when you're in a consolidation zone. So just make sure you have your indicator on. Well, I'll do two more, and then you guys get the general idea. Linear lines going through the candle, so you enter a put right about here. Ride it out till either it touches the linear line. That's 3 days. Let's do a day. Do we have a day here? This one wouldn't work unless you held it longer. This must be on a Friday. But yeah, you still would work, but you would have had to hold this out longer. This is 500 in about 3.5 days. Let's do this last one right here. And I think you guys get the general idea. Linear line goes through the candle, so you would enter on this one. You ride it out. Let's see what we get for a day. Right about here. So this is $684 in one day. So this strategy works extremely well, and all you really are dealing with is one line and one indicator, with the exception of, the consolidation to find, consolidation moments, because you don't want to do this strategy when things are consolidating. Now, one method I do with this strategy is I will focus on getting a certain percentage of gains with the contracts. Once I have enough in gains, I'll start compounding my contracts. So, when I have a comfortable balance, that's all anybody's. Whenever you think that you have a comfortable enough balance to cover everything, I then up it to 2 contracts. And once I go to 2 contracts, you'll make 2 times the amount that I showed you in this video. And then once you start getting gains off of that, you up it to 3 contracts and 4 contracts, and eventually you can probably get to 10 contracts. It'll take a little bit of time to get to, 10 contracts to all the way to 100 contracts. But you can really start compounding, and you could use this strategy to help find it. You just have to not do this during the consolidation zone, so make sure you do it. Make sure you have the consolidation indicator on there. But other than that, this really only works for something that goes up and then down, up and then down. It's more volatile. It doesn't work as well as doing it with crypto and things like that. But this definitely works really good for the S&P 500, QQQ, ETFs, and things like that. So if it has a solid pattern of going up and then down, it works really well. You can really see it with this strategy. It's pretty simple, and people like to overcomplicate it, trading, especially when it comes to like S&P 500, things like that. But the S&P 500 just has ups and downs. Now you can use this strategy, and you can do this with Robinhood on SPY with the contracts. And you can also trade SPX with FOREX, and you can do this. You can get paid twice if you know how to trade SPX and FOREX. I've made videos about that too on my strategy. But anyway, If you guys like this video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. See you guys in future videos.